Philly hoes know it's Moschino. Every cutie with the booty, boy, the Gucci. Now who's the real dookie? Meaning who's really the shit? Them niggas ride dicks. Frank White pushed the sick called the Lexus LX 4.5. Bulletproof glass tints if I want some ass. Gon' blast squeeze first.
What is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Got a designer scent to take a look at today. This one doesn't get a huge amount of talk. This is from the house of Moschino, and it is called Moschino Forever. Now, this was a 100% blind buy for me. I was at TJ Maxx looking around, saw this. I have some history with the brand that we'll talk about in a bit. And so I gave it a go. I own this one from the house, and I own Moschino Uomo, which came out in 1998. I also blind bought that one off Amazon. I think I'd like to pick up Toy, which came out in 2014. Of course, the bottle is actually housed in a little stuffed bear, and it's just kind of the playful things that Moschino do that I like that. I like their approach to fashion, not really ever taking it too seriously or having fun with things. And so before we get into the scent, let's talk about Moschino. Moschino is a relatively newer label. They were started in 1983 by Franco Moschino. He passed away, and really this brand became big in the 1990s. They were known for making clothing that was colorful and playful and eccentric. A lot of the time they made fun of fashion, and they made clothes that did that, but they made them with Italian quality, and they did it in a way that upscale fashionistas were used to the quality, but sort of the message was different with Moschino. So where I was as someone who came from Polo and Tommy Hilfiger and Guess and Nautica, I was looking to sort of maintain that youthful and vibrant style. I'm talking about like 98, 99, 2000. But I also wanted to step it up a little bit because I knew there were better labels out there, sort of the way I made my way to niche. And at the time, Moschino just made sense. So I had a lot of Moschino t-shirts and jeans, and I was just always a fan of their design. I just always liked Moschino. And Moschino was really broken into three separate lines. You have regular Moschino, which encompasses men and women's clothing. You have Moschino Sheep and Chic, which was a secondary women's line. And then the third one, what's it called? Love Moschino was their jean line. And actually, I found out, I don't know if it's still open, but they actually opened a Hotel Maison Moschino in 2010. Now, as I said, Franco Moschino passed away in the mid-90s. A woman named Rosella Giardini, who was Franco's friend and really second in command at the house at the time he died, took over. And Moschino did their first fragrance in 1987 for women. It was called Moschino for Women. Not a very creative name there. And then they did Moschino for Men in 1990. As of today, they have about 20 scents in their lineup, and they are under Euroitalia SRL, which also does fragrances for Versace and Ola Cassini. Forever was a 2011 release. Now, the perfumer on this one is Natalie Lorson, and I like her work. She did Bentley for Men Intense, which I own. She did Encre Noir, which to me is a classic men's fragrance. She did Encre Noir Sport, which I think is good. She did she did Pure Black for Mandarina Duck. She did Auto Portrait for Olfactive Studio, so she's official. And she did this one for Firmenit, and it came in 30, 50, and 100 ml bottles. Now, this is the 30 ml. This is the smallest bottle. This one was at TJ Maxx. Like I said, it was $15. I picked it up. You can find this one all over the internet between $20 to $40. And they released in 2013 a flanker to this one called Forever Sailing, which I've never got my nose on. Notes on Forever are bergamot, kumquat, and star anise at the top, tonka bean, clary sage, and pepper in the middle, vetiver, musk, and sandalwood at the base. Now, I don't have the box for this one. When I moved, I got rid of a lot of the boxes for sort of cheaper stuff. But the bottle's cool. It's Moschino Forever. On the bottom, you have a sticker. The top has this Moschino sort of name plate, like you might see on a chain. It's metal on top of plastic. It's very light, I do have to say that. And the atomizer is fine, and the cap clicks onto place on that little plate on top of on top of the bottle. So very sort of basic presentation. So this is a scent that I bought, tried, and sort of put to the end of my shelf, and that was a mistake because this one is nice. This one has something. Larson got game. Off the top with this one, you get this sweet kumquat note that's supported with the bergamot, and this really sweet anise, and it's really a pretty opening that I gotta be honest with you is fairly unique. You don't see a lot of kumquat scents out there, and then as this one dries down, you get a nice mix of tonka bean and pepper. Now that is a combination that's nothing new, but when you add it to the star anise and the kumquat, you get this really nice citrusy, fruity spice tonka fragrance that has some quality and some power. The base is really sort of simple. The base is musk, sandalwood, and vetiver. The sandalwood is really the dominant piece of the base of this fragrance. It's the one that stands out the most, but there's a touch of green with that vetiver, a little bit of musk. But really, if someone asked me how would you sum up this fragrance, I'd say tonka, sandalwood, kumquat. And those notes are accentuated with star anise and pepper. That's really what this one's about. Performance is good. It's not gonna make you go crazy. It projects. It lasts. It's surprisingly stout. It does what it does well. It has some sillage. It's a masculine scent, but if you sort of enjoy these tonka bombs as a woman, you could definitely get away with this one. I think it works any season. It's very versatile juice. The fruit makes it tolerable in warm weather, and then in the cold, that tonka comes through and cuts through there, so that works as well. I'd say this is probably a little bit too assertive for you to wear to work, depending on where you work, but nights out, dates, and casual, Moschino Forever is a fine fragrance. If you couldn't find this, you're looking for something like it, but want to step your game up a little, a L'Oreal by Chanel, kind of comparable to that. Perry Ellis M, certainly a L'Oreal Eau Extreme, which has the Tonka Blast, Versace Eros, the Tonka bombs. Some fragrances that make use of kumquat. Of course, one of the newer Hermes, probably the latest, even if I play this video a long time in the future, that Jardin Monsieur Lee, which is their Jardin fragrance that has a kumquat as the star of the show. Soleil di Capri by Montal has some kumquat. Actually, Moschino Uomo actually has kumquat as well, but that one's a little bit drier and more refined. That one's probably more business appropriate as well. If someone were trying to talk you into getting this, I think they would say good price, not unique but different, jack of all trades fragrance, and there is some quality to it. The perfumer Larson, she takes pride in her work. If someone were trying to talk you out of this, I think they tell you, look, this is nothing new. There are better and more complete versions of this scent, and it would be hard to argue that. So great price here. I like this one. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's a good scent, it's a workhorse, it's quality, but we're just not breaking new ground, and we're not in such high quality that you can ignore this interpretation of these sort of scents that sort of co-dominate the men's designer fragrance shelf. But I think this one is cool. I do like Moschino, and I appreciate how they sort of did try to make this a little bit different by popping in that kumquat. So I like that. So guys, if you have any questions forever about Moschino, I'll be more than happy to help you. Guys, you can always email me and ask me whatever, as long as you don't ask me to lend you money at maxmno@gmail.com. We will have more videos next week, guys. You know what it is. My name is Maximilian.